How does anyone watch this garbage? And if you do watch the wicked weave of the woke Joy Reid, how could anyone be naive enough to believe anything that she is saying? They think we're stupid. It's nothing but propaganda. I will give Joy Reid and MSNBC a little bit of credit, though. Yesterday, we were having a discussion on the channel Discord server, which, by the way, if you want to join us, link the channel memberships in the description below. Support the channel by becoming a parishioner or a deacon and join our daily discussions on Discord. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Yesterday, we were having a discussion on Discord, and a couple of the members, they were talking about channels that were somewhat similar to mine and what they liked or didn't like about those channels. During the conversation, someone made an interesting comment that caught my attention. He said, sometimes other hosts lack passion and it makes their content less interesting, less entertaining. When he said that, I immediately thought about the biggest difference between CNN and MSNBC. In terms of content, the networks are identical. It's 24 hours of witnessing the dangerous symptoms of stage 4 OMB. Orange Man bad! Yet, for some reason, MSNBC averages over 1 million viewers in prime time, while CNN doesn't eclipse half that number. Why? Presentation. Watching CNN, it's like watching for drops of rain in the desert. You keep waiting for that tiny drop of entertainment. You keep waiting for that little glimpse of passion, and it never comes. CNN is like the media morgue. It's where mainstream media careers go to die. Now, even though MSNBC is detestable, at least it's entertaining. When I watch Joy Reid, I don't believe anything she says. Hell, I don't think she believes it. But at least she presents it in a way, at least she delivers those toxic mouth farts in a way that's captivating. MSNBC does an excellent job polishing the turd. CNN, they are just a steaming turd. There's nothing pleasant about it. Right now, there is a full-blown panic throughout the mainstream media. According to recent polling data, support for Donald Trump amongst black voters, it's doubled. In 2020, the Trumper got 8, maybe 9% of the black vote. Today, he's polling around 17, maybe even 18%. If that continues, our fearless leader, John Biden, he doesn't have a chance. The mainstream media, they're having a difficult time understanding why black men and black women are relating to Donald Trump. This is outrageous! How can our brothers and sisters support a mythical racist? Some claim that the weaponization of the federal government against Donald Trump is increasing his support with black voters. For some, that is probably true, but there's a more logical reason, and believe it or not, that reason was discovered in a focus group organized by MSNBC back in February. Watch for yourself.
Money. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump has a reputation of being the money man.
In spite of all the craziness he may have in his head, reading some of the things that he talks about with business, I can kind of agree with as far as business-wise, because I'm trying to grow my business.
We were broke with Biden. We weren't with Trump. And that's kind of the only thing that I'm hearing over and over again is that, well, Trump, we had money.
If you're a member of the woke media, I want you to listen very closely. Let KC enlighten you. Let KC let you in on a little secret. And I know you're watching. When you feel the insatiable need to be offended, I know you watch this channel. So listen closely. Let me explain the appeal of Donald Trump to some black voters. It's actually quite simple to understand. Black people like money. Yeah, I know that's shocking to deacons at Woke United Methodist, but black people, they want jobs. They want good paying jobs. They want to support their families. They want to actually own a house. They don't want to be lifetime renters. Contrary to the woke commandments, they don't want to defund the police. You know who was impacted the most by defunding the police? It wasn't KC living in the suburbs. It wasn't Joy Reid in her gated lair. Joy Reid can walk safely to her parking garage, which most people would describe as a closet. She can grab her broom and fly safely to the studio at MSNBC. The people most impacted by defunding the police, they were living in lower income areas. The same people the mainstream media claimed to be fighting for. For decades, rappers idolized Donald Trump. The Orange Man was mentioned in dozens of rap songs. Before he became president, this dude was an icon in rap, and he wasn't even a rapper. Yet for some reason, the mainstream media continues to push this false narrative that Donald Trump is public enemy number one in the black community. Thursday night, the Trumper, he held a campaign rally in the Bronx. Now, according to Newsweek, Trump claimed there were 25,000 people at this campaign rally. I don't know if I believe that. I damn sure don't believe there were 25,000 people there. Newsweek claimed that Donald Trump provided that number to them in an email. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. There are other conservative media outlets like Newsmax claiming that there were 25, possibly even 30,000 people at this rally, but I ain't buying it. 30,000 people, that's like filling almost half of an NFL stadium, or the combined attendance for the WNBA regular season for all 12 dumps. They were only permitted to have 3,500 people at this event, which that is still a great turnout. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Donald Trump was not supported in the Bronx. I watched most of the event and the interviews conducted with people that attended. It was a very diverse crowd. Now you would think this would put a smile on the face of disgraced Joy Reid. I mean, Joy Reid loves diversity, right? Instead, Joy Reid was filled with her usual bitterness as she tried to explain to her MSNBC audience that Donald Trump is not supported by the black community. Watch for yourself.
If Trump has so many supporters in New York, why aren't they showing up in droves to support him at his trial, where the courthouse is literally just a subway ride away? This is Tuesday. One supporter. Usually there are none. Trust me, I've been there. And to top off this tomfoolery, Trump floated Florida Congressman Byron Donalds as a potential vice presidential pick. The one black guy that Republicans love to roll out as fake proof that black people, the blacks, are just MAGA. They're MAGA. It's a joke.
According to the Wicked Weave, we are to believe that Donald Trump doesn't have support in New York City because no one is showing up to his trial. You have to believe me, I was there! Here's my receipt where I parked my broom! Yeah, Joy, I'm sure you were there. I bet you even broom pulled with some of your pretend friends in the mainstream media to eliminate those toxic carbon emissions that are causing spring to change into summer. But again, listen very closely, Mrs. Reid. Let Casey explain why normal people aren't showing up to Trump's trial in New York City. Outside of the mainstream media, no one gives a fuck. No one cares about this trial. This is not the trial of O.J. Simpson. This isn't Casey Anthony or some other high-profile case. The only people, and I mean the only people that care about this trial, they are collecting woke welfare in the mainstream media. The rest of us do not care. Well, Casey, you don't know that. You're just a white guy from the South. How can you possibly know what minority voters in New York City think about Donald Trump? Fine. You don't have to take my word for it. If you're a parishioner of Woke United Methodist, I would expect nothing less. I don't expect you to believe me. You probably believe Joy Reid. You probably think Donald Trump has zero support amongst minority voters. If you're a parishioner of Woke United Methodist, your primary source for news and information, probably MSNBC. So don't take my word for it. I'll let the clip speak for itself.
Black and Latino voters that are sick of how much they're paying for gas and groceries, that are frustrated with the situation at the border, and that find President Biden's rhetoric when it comes to minority voters a little bit offensive. Take a listen.
Legal troubles. Does any of that worry you at all?
No.
at all. I think he's going to be elected the president because everyone still wants him as the president.
Biden went on the Charlemagne the God show and said, you ain't black if you don't vote for him. I'm black because that's how I was born and what I am. And Trump is the man that can save this country.
Basically, Joy Reid was busted lying by her own network. One of two things are true here. Either Joy Reid is so blinded by mythical racism, she is so blinded by her ideology that she is incapable of telling the truth. Or Joy Reid is a paid propagandist. I'll let you decide. There's also another truth here. The mainstream media, they are coming to the harsh realization that they no longer have any power. They no longer have influence. In my 39 years, the media has never been less influential. People may be struggling to buy groceries, but they're not hungry enough to consume the shit sandwich that the mainstream media is serving. No one is listening to the media. People are more likely to listen to a doofus like me. People are more likely to believe someone like me than believe anything they see in the media. Why? Well, I don't have an agenda. No one is paying me to think a certain way. If Trump inflates the turnout at one of his campaign rallies, I'll tell you about it. I do think it's ironic, though, that the media is so obsessed with how many people showed up at Trump's rally in the Bronx. I'm sure they are paying people to count heads to determine an accurate number. But how come they are not doing the same thing with John Biden? Well, it wouldn't take very long to determine attendance at a John Biden rally. All you would need is one hand. The media, they are running out of lies. They are running out of ideas to cover for this disaster created by John Biden. Hard to convince people to vote for John Biden when they can't afford the gas to get to the polls. Legal immigrants, people who came here the right way, hard to convince them to vote for Johnny B. Biden when he is rewarding people who came here illegally. Well, KC, you're not allowed to say that. You must say he's rewarding people who came here without proper documentation. You know, Trump could do nothing from now until November and he could still win this election. The only thing that he can't do is make a big mistake. Like, I don't know, selecting Nick Haley for vice president. Now, would that be enough for Trump not to get elected? Probably not, but it would make people question his judgment, myself included. But anyway, give me your thoughts on this. Joy Reid tries to convince people that black voters are not supporting Donald Trump, and Joy Reid gets busted in this lie by her own network. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Is there any way Trump loses this election? Does John Biden have a chance? I mean, it's gotten so bad, even networks like MSNBC, they are having a hard time covering for John Biden. But you let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.